Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back to a new week here on the Cabral Concept. Glad to have you. Glad you could join me here today on our Motivation and Mindset Monday, where the topic is going to be the missing two lines from the Bible on asking and receiving. To me, when I learned this, I was, absolutely blown away. As someone that's been studying now for over 15 years, the human mind and actually neuroscience and quantum physics as to how we get these thoughts to move out into the universe to actually create what we want in our life. I found it completely fascinating. And the more that I go back and actually look at a lot of these Bible-based verses, the more I can see that in the Bible, they were trying to teach us what we are actually supposed to know in this life, but a lot of it has been translated in a way to not give us the full picture. Now, again, this is not going to be a religious-based show. Whether you are Jewish or Catholic or Christian or Muslim or any different type of religion, I honestly support you. I have no issues with that whatsoever. I'm more of an inclusive type person. I'm someone that wants to make sure that I respect your values, and of course, I hope that you respect mine as well. So that's how I look at things. But I'm also looking at it from how can we be more connected as a people, and also what has not been shared with us that might be holding us back. And that's how I want to look at it today. So you can look at what we're talking about here today as literally the Word of God. You can look at it as how the universe manifests things in our own life. Whatever words you feel comfortable with, that's what you should go with, all right? But what I want to do is actually share with you fact of two lines that were in the oldest forms of the Bible. We know because they still exist today, but not actually translated into the newer forms of the Bible that are actually more condensed. So let's go over those right now. So you probably heard the term, whether you have read the Bible, not read the Bible. Again, if you're Muslim and you're studying the Quran or something else, then of course, you're not reading the Bible. Again, I wouldn't say that I am the most religious person. So if I stumble a bit in terms of religious-based speak, well, that's the reason why. However, I did grow up in a religious-based family, and have read the Bible cover to cover while going to grade school. So I have a background in that part of it, but it's been many years. But there's a verse in the Bible, and I actually believe it's from Matthew. But again, I could be incorrect there. But I will certainly link that up in the show notes here today. But the actual verse is this: it's "Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened." Okay, so how do we have we heard that Bible verse before? Of course we have. Just very simply, it said, "Ask, and you shall receive." Right? We've heard that many, many times. Ask, and you shall receive. So we have a lot of people in the world asking, and their asks have not been answered. Again, through the universe, through God, etc. And they say, why have my asks or my prayers not been answered? And there seems to be a deeper reason as to why. One that is actually being backed up now more by physics and the law of vibration that I spoke about not too long ago on a Motivation and Mindset Monday. Let's see if we can find it here. And well, I will link that up here as well. If you go to stephencabral.com/1963, I will link up the previous podcast on the law of vibration, as well as the direct quote from the Bible, which I just quoted to you, but I'll actually find out the exact verse for you to look up if you choose to. Okay, so ask and ye shall receive. Ask and you shall receive, which is great to do and great to hear, that all we have to do is ask God or the world and we shall receive it. But I think that we know that that isn't always true, right? We've asked for things and we haven't gotten them. So why haven't we gotten them? That's the real answer. Well, you might start to think, well, you didn't deserve it. Or you might start to think that it wasn't your time, or you might to think that God or the universe has a bigger plan for you. And maybe for you, maybe all of those things or one of those things might actually be true. I don't think the deserving part is part of it necessarily. I don't want you to ever think that you're not worthy or you don't deserve. You do. But what's really been left out are a few other lines that were actually in the Bible that were taken out. So let's go over those right now. And again, this is really, really powerful stuff. And I learned this actually from Greg Braden. Greg Braden is someone that it's kind of like, it's funny, I've never met him, but off and on for the past, let's say 3 years or so, I would be researching something, thinking about something, journaling about something, and looking it up, and then all of a sudden his name pops up and there's a great, video or passage or whatever it might be. And so I say, oh, this is interesting. So I really started to look into some of the research he's done, and it's pretty remarkable on the power of prayer and praying in the right way. So, but let's go back to it. So the original Aramaic version of the Bible said this. So it's not ask and you shall receive. It was all things that you ask straightly, directly from inside my name, you will be given. So far, you have not done this. Ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. Be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full. All right, I know that sounds a little bit, it's written in older text, but let me read it one more time and then I'm going to translate it for you based on Greg Braden's work and a lot of other people's work, which makes total sense because it's been now handed down from many different cultures and said in different ways. And I think it'll make a lot more sense, especially if you've been listening to my Mindset and Motivation Monday podcasts for the past couple of years, or at least this year as well. So let's go over that right now one more time, and then I'm going to bring up my notes on this particular topic. All right, so it was original Aramaic version, okay? All things that you ask straightly, directly, from inside my name, you will be given. So far, you have not done this. Ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. Be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full. All right, let's take this part by part. So, if you have not received what you've asked for, then you have not done, it literally says this, you have not done it correctly. All right, because God, the universe, wants to give you everything that you want, that you desire. And let's say, what now? How do we do that? That's the big question. And again, I think that this was really nicely outlined. Okay, so it's this. Ask without hidden motive. That means this. Ask without the ego. Ask without judgment of it being right or wrong. Like, oh, I don't really know if I deserve this. I don't really know if I should have this. Other people don't have it. Or why do they have it? They're envious. You might be envious, and I should have it too. So ask without hidden motive. Your motive has to be pure, right? You have to be pure in what you are asking for, that you believe that you deserve it, that you believe that is a great desire of yours, that you will be that much better for yourself and others, not from an ego perspective, if you were actually to achieve this goal. And be surrounded by your answer. Be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full. What does that mean? You need to actually completely believe that you have already achieved that which you are praying for or asking for. That's the hard part. I've talked about this before on previous Motivation and Mindset Mondays, not directly translated from the Bible, but what many people have talked about, whether it be Buddhist monks or, again, Vedic scriptures from around the world thousands and thousands of years ago. So what does that even mean, though? Well, when you are praying or you are asking the universe or you're setting your goals and your vision, you need to actually see yourself, and I'm going to get a little bit deeper on this, having already achieved the thing that you're asking for. So if you're asking for health, for body transformation, for career, for relationships, for spirituality, for whatever it may be, a new car, like it can literally be anything. There can't be judgment of whether you deserve the new car or not. It's not that. It has to be you already see yourself. Let's just use car, for example. It's pretty easy. Let's see yourself driving that new car, okay? Believing you already have the new car. Not, oh, it'd be great to have it. No, already see yourself. What would you be doing if you had that new car? Driving to wherever it might be, right? Driving around in it, feeling the wind blow through your hair. I started to get into the next part to it. Okay, so the next part is this. So you already have to see yourself. You already have to believe, okay? But there's one more part, and it's feeling. Feeling is the greatest secret that has been left out of all of the manifestation work, all of the law of attraction work, all of the asking and receiving. It is the feeling of already having it be done. It's not just seeing yourself, so you can visualize, right? A lot of people visualize, they set a vision board, and it still doesn't come true. Well, the reason it hasn't come true is there's no feeling attributed to that. You ever wonder why a lot of bad things happen that you wish wouldn't happen? You give feeling, feel yourself worried about the bad thing happening. That is also the law of attraction. It doesn't work just for good. You are asking with your visual of the bad thing, and then you are feeling that bad thing potentially happening, and then it happens. Because you are a vibrating being. Again, this is literally science now. This matter that you see is less than 1%. You are a vibrating being of atoms and quarks and just movement in space, not confined to this body. And there is a law of resonance, a law of frequency, a law of vibration that and I went to the tuning fork analogy before, you set your body at a certain tune, a certain frequency, and those things that vibe or vibrate with that frequency are attracted to you. It is feeling hopefully in a positive manner that's going to allow you to vibrate and come into connection then with those things that you want from a healthy perspective, not from a negative perspective. That means if we're going back to the car analogy, you need to see yourself in the car, driving the car, or the dealership handing you the keys, you walking into that car, driving out of the lot, rolling down the windows, maybe your partner, your spouse, whoever, your family's in the car, the wind's blowing through your hair, you close your eyes for a moment, you take it in, you feel how amazing that would feel of a goal accomplished. You need to let that set in. You need to feel it as if it is now, as if it is the present moment. That is where it goes back to the specific quote, and I'll go to it again right now. Ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. Be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full. Already feel glad. Already feel happy in this present moment of your goal being achieved. Sometimes we feel like we're upset right now because our goals haven't been achieved. And upset is the feeling that we're feeling. We're feeling a lack of something. We need to feel full. We need to feel already that we've achieved the thing. And that is the challenging part, right? It's the challenging part of essentially playing make-believe. But you can't get the thing that you desire without actually believing you can do it, or God, the universe, can help you with it. And then really what you need to do is this: set your vision, but then feel the feeling of it already having come true in the present moment. You can do it during meditation. You can just close your eyes. You can put some nice music on in the background. And then you need to try to carry that feeling with you through as much of the day as possible. Visualizing, feeling, believing, and see yourself already having done the thing. That is the secret that was left out of the ask and you shall receive. So there are essentially three parts. The first is that you still need to ask. There's no doubt about that, right? So that was left in. You need to ask and you shall receive. Okay, well, there's a couple steps before the receiving part that, again, was in the original Aramaic version, but was taken out or was just translated too quickly. It's translated in a shortened version. But they left out the most important parts. They left out the secrets of the real law of attraction, right? So here's what you need to do. And again, so let me get to the three different parts. Ask. The first step is you do need to ask. Ask for what you desire out of life. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. I've always noticed in people that the more that they ask for, the more that they desire, the more that they receive, the more that they're able to help others out. I mean, I really have. There are obviously examples out there of big tech companies and people like that are just don't seem to be for the benefit of humanity. But I've noticed most people give back to family, they give to charities, they help others out, they're in a better mood. I've just noticed that across the board with the people that I've met in my line of work and meeting with many, tens of thousands of people personally. So that's the first step. Ask. There's nothing wrong with that. Ask, okay? Without hidden motive. Just ask. No judgment. This is what you're looking for. The second is this, is that you need to believe, right? You need to believe with your mind and body. You can't just say it. You can't just visualize it. You have to lock it into the nervous system. The nervous system is the subconscious. So you need to lock it into the nervous system without equivocation. And equivocation is basically saying that, listen, you believe it, there's no outs for you, that this is what you want to happen, it has to happen, you're going to make it happen, you believe, you're not, wishy-washy on it. And the third is this. Again, the law of attraction, the secret is simplify things too much as well, because there's a third step. Whether you believe again in God or the universe, a creator, a higher power, that they are using you in a good way as the vessel for manifesting things in this world, right? So God, the universe creator, is using you, acting through you as a vessel for manifestation. And that means you still have to play your part, that you still need to take the actions or take advantage or create the opportunities that are going to allow you then to manifest that which you desire. And you do that through feeling full every single day, through believing that you have already received that which you desire, that you know and you feel it right now that it's a matter of time only. So you're already feeling the feeling of it having come true. The more you can do that, the more you can focus on that, the faster it will come to fruition. Hopefully this was helpful today. And of course, if it was, I would love to hear your feedback. Either way, I'd love to hear your feedback. And of course, if it was beneficial, please do feel free to share this show with anyone else you believe it could serve. Thank you so much for tuning into today's Cabral Concept. Appreciate you, I truly do. And I want to make sure that you know all about our brand new hormone labs that have debuted this week. They are typically $129, which is a very low cost for an at-home lab that also includes a 30-minute consultation with your Equilife health coach and a plan tailored to you. It's an absolutely amazing deal based on that hormone lab. We have the female hormones lab, which looks at progesterone and estrogen, and we have the male hormone lab, which looks at DHEA and testosterone. But instead of paying the $129, which you can, and it's a great deal, we are giving away 500 completely free this week. That means on all qualifying orders over at Equa.life, you can get yours completely free. $250 for the female, $250 for the male, while supplies last. Check out the qualifying order details over at equi.life for all the details. Take care, and of course, let us know if there are any questions. Enjoy.